Today we are talking about the EURUSD as it pulls back on Thursday, but the question is this the top for the euro following the breakdown of that March trend line, or are early shorts going to get themselves in trouble? And I'll have the details in today's video, including key levels to watch, and at the end of this video, I'll talk about my thoughts on where this market could be headed over the coming days. And guys, if you want my help with your trading, be sure to join us in the VIP group. It's all hosted in Discord, so real-time market updates, daily trade setups, seeing my trades live, also VIP-only videos, and also full access to the course. Be sure to check out the link in the description of this video for 85% off lifetime access. If you're on the website, click on that Join VIP link. All right, looking at the EURUSD daily time frame, guys, we have the market, obviously breaking that March trend line that we've talked about recently. So this right here, guys, in and of itself does look a little bit bearish for the euro. However, like I mentioned back here during the breakdown, this right here, there was no defense from buyers through this area. And a lot of times when you get very aggressive moves like this, you do often get the market returning to this area because it leaves imbalances like these up here. Now, these blue dotted lines, if you're new here, these are what are called single prints. In TPO terms, time price opportunity, it means that the market traded through these areas very quickly. So it's a very thinly traded area. If you look on the 30-minute time frame, you'll see exactly what I mean moving back here toward this breakdown back here. We talked about this before, but you can see where this through here was very thinly traded, same thing through this area. All right, so the market has a way of returning to regions like this, and we are seeing some of that so far this week. We've discussed similar areas on the pound as well. Now, the question is, though, is this right here, okay, this retest of this resistance area that we've talked about recently, these lows through here, and also these recent highs, is this right here the top for the euro, or do bulls have, more to go? Do they have more fuel left in the tank? And will early shorts get themselves in trouble? Now, obviously, if you shorted up here, in this area, this is a great intraday move lower. However, I do think that it is a bit risky to be looking for shorts here on the euro while these areas are still open for business. So if we look here at the 30-minute time frame, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Turning on TPO here, this is an indicator on the TradingView premium subscription or higher. And what you'll see here is that these areas right back here, these are your single prints. Okay, and you can see how this high right here came very close to it. However, these, again, are still open for business. Now, there's no guarantee, okay, that the market will come up here and take these out. However, at the same time, when you have a market trading this close to them, and you've got two areas like this, furthermore, the DXY is also still just above that 97.70 area, which we'll look at next. You do often get the market coming up here toward these areas first before you see a larger reversal take place. Now, what you'll notice here so far today is that this was the single print back here that we discussed over the weekend. So 116.16 was also a single print from this move lower, and this was actually, quote unquote, filled in through this area so far this week. Now, what you'll notice is, and we talked about this recently in Discord, is that this area down here, okay, I'm going to turn this off just to clean things up here and remove these levels. So this area down here, guys, what you'll notice is that this was the single print from back here. Okay, so again, this was satisfied through this area. And what you'll notice is that so far today's session is bouncing right from that key level. So oftentimes, guys, these areas serve as not only magnets, so to speak, for a market, but they also serve as support or resistance. Now, you can see where the market, the euro came through this area, and now it's pulling back into this region. So this is going to be support now for the euro, down toward 115.85, up toward that 116.16 single print from back here. All right, so I mentioned this in Discord earlier when the euro was testing this level. I marked out support down here, said there was a good chance that we saw a bounce from this area, and resistance for the euro is going to extend from 117.06 all the way up to about 117.50. Okay, so pretty clear areas here for the euro. You've got support down here, you've got resistance up here, right? So when you're looking at this here, I mean, yes, we are seeing a pretty aggressive pullback so far today. However, at the same time, we had an imbalance from this push up here, this expansion out of the range. Okay, so this right here today is just pulling back into that area. And, currently we do still have an uptrend following the low back here at the start of August. Keep in mind too, guys, this low, this move on Friday with that NFP disappointment for the US dollar, that right there reclaimed 114.50. That was a significant development for the euro. And again, we still have those imbalances above 117. Okay, so I kind of still lean, guys, toward the idea that we could get at least one more push higher from the euro. As long as we're above 115.85, this is going to be your invalidation for the EURUSD. So as long as we're above this here on the daily time frame, right, which you can see that currently we are still well above that. If we were to close below here, right, if we were to see the euro get back below here on the daily, then that would be different, right? Then we're looking at that potential top and that move down here toward this area, right? But 115.85 is going to be the invalidation. As long as we're above that, again, we still have these areas up here that are open for business. Now, looking at the DXY, this also complements what we're seeing from the euro, because as we've discussed recently, guys, we had that failed break above 99.35. Okay, so these highs back here in June, you can see where we got the close above. This was obviously the Friday move there on those NFP numbers that disappointed, and this became a failed breakout. Now, a lot of times failed breakouts like this trigger an extended move in the opposite direction, and so far we are seeing that so far this week, right? So what you'll notice here too is, and this is very similar to the euro as well, that over the weekend we talked about this 98.46 imbalance based on this candle. Okay, so in the upper range of this candle, we had this imbalance through here, and you can see where we did get the breakdown on Wednesday, and so far Thursday's high is right off of that level. So this is what I mean by a lot of times when you get these single prints being satisfied or filled in, they do oftentimes become support or resistance for a market after the fact. All right, so the reason that I'm thinking we could see a little bit higher for the euro is looking here at the DXY as well. You've got the market holding below 98.50/60. Okay, so this area through here, these lows and these highs back here, as long as the DXY is below this, guys, there's no reason to be bullish on the US dollar following the breakdown below. Again, this area right now is serving as resistance for the US dollar. And we also have this region down here. Now, this area, okay, this imbalance at 97.93, technically the DXY did fill in that area today, okay? However, we have a second imbalance down there at 97.74 that could pull the US dollar lower. And furthermore, we also have the bottom of this channel here, okay? So these two lows, you've got these highs, and again, this was a failed breakout up here, all right? So you've got this level, you've also got this key horizontal through here. This was an open gap back there at 97.70, you've got all these lows through here, and you've also got these highs. So this is going to be a big pocket of support here for the US dollar. And again, I think that 97.74 imbalance could help to pull the US dollar lower here over the next few days. Okay, so my thoughts, guys, on where we go from here. As I said, I do think that we are likely to see at least one more rally from the euro. As long as we're above 115.85, that is my base case for the euro USD. And as for the DXY, again, as long as we're below this pocket through here around 98.50/60, then we've got this area down here, this imbalance around 97.74, and then also that confluence of support down here at 97.70. Now, with all of that said, once we get the DXY down here in this area and we see the euro come up here and test this region, okay, that second imbalance up here, I think you've got to be really careful being bearish on the US dollar, because the odds of a bounce, okay, even if this doesn't become the bottom, the odds of a bounce from this area down here are pretty high. Okay, so we at least, in my opinion, if we come down here, test this area, we probably get a decent bounce from here, potentially just ranging a bit here for the DXY. All right, so you've got to be careful getting bearish on the US dollar down here in this area. However, again, I think as long as we remain below this on a daily closing basis, then this right here is your range. Now, if we were to see the daily close up back above this, okay, around 98.60, and get back above here, then this right here is your range. All right, so hopefully that's easy enough to understand. Basically, if you want to sum this up, guys, you've got this range support down here, this confluence of support around 97.70. You've also got these highs up here, and this is essentially your mid-range. Okay, so as long as we're below 98.50/60, this right here is your range. If we were to get above this, then this is your range. All right, guys, I hope the video has helped. If it has, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that like button. Don't forget to join us in VIP. Claim your 85% off lifetime access in the description of this video. Have a great weekend. I won't be around on Friday, but have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again next week.